Wake up.
Wake up.
Wake up!
Get up.
You get out of bed this instant.
And turn it on.
Glenn, Angel, and the Flying Dutchman.
The Big Show on Kiss 92.
Good morning, Singapore. Welcome to a Monday. And we have with us Rockstar Arms, Natalie Dau. Good morning, Nat.
Good morning, guys. A wet one and a wet start to the week.
Yeah.
We're 51 days to Christmas, Nat. Have you started your Christmas shopping yet?
Oh my gosh, no, I have not even thought about it.
Who has? I haven't.
I've got a bit done.
Yeah, I have. I pick things up throughout the year. Oh, this will be good for so-and-so. This will be good. And then sometimes you end up using it for yourself, you know? Then you're like, oh, now I need to start again.
But why are you guys rushing to go and get your shopping done?
It's not rushing. We're 51 days away.
51 days away.
Before you know it, we'll be in December, and that's exactly when the the Standard Chartered Marathon is happening as well.
Unless you have many people to buy gifts for, the best time to go shopping
is on the day
like
itself.
a week before
Right,
Christmas.
okay. All right, speaking of which, December, Natalie Dau, we have the Standard Chartered Marathon coming up, first weekend of December.
Yes, we certainly do. The biggest running event in Singapore, expecting about 30,000 of us to be out there over the weekend. And now, you know, there's a lead up to training. I see people out there that you'll notice that the pavements are a lot busier with everyone prepping for it at the moment. But I wanted to talk today about we're 4 weeks out and what should you be doing. And number one is not getting injured. People, if you've done your training right, the next 4 weeks are not going to have a massive impact on your race. So it's really about probably peaking last week or this week, and then we're going to start to taper, which means cutting back your distance over the next few weeks. You'll need to take care and not get sick. So watch those heart rates as you're running. If your heart rate's skyrocketing, then maybe you're getting an infection or getting the flu. So watch that. And then obviously things like speed work will continue just to get that little bit of speed in your legs as we get closer to. But apart from that, stick to that 80% of your training in zone 2, nice easy runs, and ease your way into the marathon or whatever distance you're doing.
So it's kind of like an exam. If you're starting now, it's already too late, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're starting now to run a marathon in 4 weeks, you're going to end up probably in hospital very injured.
Wow. Okay. You can register for the Singapore Marathon at singaporemarathon.com. Registration is still open.
Okay.
Then when it comes to running marathons, shoes are important. Here's a question I've got. You run a marathon. Should you run them in shoes that are new? Do you buy new shoes for a marathon?
You can buy new shoes, but do not make the marathon, or even if you're running the 5 or 10 or half marathon, the first time you wear them. You should actually wear them in a little bit. Doesn't mean that you've got to wear them for 100 Ks, but you should actually just double check, especially if it's a new style. So if it's something you've worn before, not so much of a big deal, but if it's a new style, you need to be getting some miles in those, making sure that there's no slipping and they're gripping your ankle right, that you've got the laces right, that the stripe on the shoe is okay, and you're not getting any damage, because sometimes you might you might do an injury if you've got the wrong shoe. So it's super important. And not just shoes, but also socks, because different socks can cause blisters or rubbing if you don't have them right. So go out, buy your shoes. You've still got time to buy new shoes, but make sure you do actually wear them for a couple of runs before race day.
Okay.
You should run them in a little bit.
Yeah.
I feel.
Yeah.
Okay, I've had blisters before.
Have you?
Awful.
Yeah, I mean sponsored shoes, right? Remember there were
I remember
a
you
couple
did.
of years.
Yes.
Oh
yes.
my goodness! Like I think it was 8 kilometers in, and I had the biggest blister at the back of my foot, even with socks. You know.
Was that the first time you were wearing them?
Yes, the
Of
first time.
course, yeah.
The first time.
Yeah.
And which is why what Nat says is absolutely true. Socks, very, very important.
Very
as well.
important,
Right,
yeah.
right.
Yeah. Okay, let's work out with Natalie Dau on the Big Show TV. Meantime, here's the only member of Blackpink who doesn't have a single out.
Yeah, that's true.
Because maybe she released the single back then, so she's using it right now.
But was she
Okay.
the first one? There you go.
Who?
Was she the first one out of the 4? Now they're all catching up. Okay, workout time.
All right, guys, we are going to do a high and low heart rate workout today. So we'll do an easy one, followed by something that gets your heart rate up, followed by easy backwards and forwards. So we are going to just do some squats, jumping jacks or star jumps, elbows to knees, then quick feet, and then a pulse with our lunges. So 40 seconds of work, 20 seconds of rest, getting ready to go. So we'll do a nice wide leg squat just to warm up. So knees are pointing out and off we go. Really push those legs out. You're going to be feeling this in your inner thighs. Squeeze the butt as you come up for a full extension. But nice, steady pace. That's it, warming those legs up before we go into a faster exercise. Jog, engage those glutes and those hamstrings. And rest. All right. Shake out the legs, getting ready to go. Next one, we're doing jumping jacks or star jumps, whichever one you like to call them. Same, no different. Getting ready to go. 3, 2, 1. Let's do it. Now, the idea being that we get our heart rate up here a bit. Something good to do as well would be skipping. So that's a great one to get the heart rate up. You can do like 40 seconds on and 20 seconds rest. Good job. Keep it going. You're going to feel a little bit gassed. All right, rest, shake it out, catch your breath. We're going to be doing a down exercise next, so a nice elbows to knees. Get those hips moving. Getting ready to go in 3, 2, 1. So hands behind the ears, lifting those knees up. Getting that nice twist. Some mobility in the hips. And again, using our glutes. So we're bringing the knee up and the elbow down. Double movement. Very leg dominant workout today. Good job. One more rep. All right, shake it out. Next one, heart rate up again. So we'll do those quick feet. Getting ready. Good time to work out inside since the weather's so bad. 3, 2, 1, and we're working those feet. Now you can have your hands in front or you can be giving them a little bit of a running action. Good job. We've got our knees slightly bent. They're nice and soft knees. No tension. Slightly hinged at the hips. And we're tapping as fast as we can. You'll feel this all through your calves. Good job. 3, 2, 1, and rest. All right. Catch your breath, shake it out. We're going to finish with a lunge pulse, so we're going to change over at 20 seconds so we can get both legs done. So let's put our right leg forward. Hands on hips, getting ready to go. And we're pulsing down. We're not coming all the way up. We're going to stay low with these little minute movements for 20 seconds. Good job. Getting ready to change. And switch legs. stay down, finish strong. That's it. Remember, no standing up. We're really activating those muscles, little movements. And done. Good work, everyone.
Ooh. Nice.
Very nice. I'm all warmed up. All set for the second set.
No
Oh,
second set.
No second
No
set.
second set. Nat, we're getting a message on our Facebook that Sydney's going to be part of the major marathons for 2025.
Correct.
Yay!
It has just been announced. Yeah.
Well
yeah. So
done.
it's number 7.
Wow.
We were just talking about it when you got back.
Yes.
Nice,
Yeah.
that's
They've
very
been working
exciting.
at it for 3 years. So they finally announced it today.
Are there
Nice.
any like other cities that are also looking to get on that map?
Yeah. So Sydney were up against Shanghai and Cape Town.
Oh, they were up against. Okay.
Yes. So they were the ones that were selected. Whether they add an 8th in a couple of years or not, who knows? But at the moment, it's sort of, I think it was about 11 years since they added Tokyo. So
Oh, wow,
it's
okay.
quite a big gap. Yeah.
Oh.
Okay,
Okay.
we're going back on air. Singapore must be number 8. Okay, here we go.
Kiss 92 traffic.
On the PIE towards the airport, there are 2 spots you need to look out for, both very far out in the west. One is after Toh Guan Road's exit with congestion to Jurong West Avenue 2, avoid lane 3. And the other is after Jalan Anak Bukit, avoid lane 4. Once again, this is on the PIE towards the airport. Wherever you are this Monday morning, stay safe.
Welcome back to The Big Show and The Big Show TV. It is a Monday, and that's why we have Natalie Dau with us. She is also known as Rockstar Arms, and you can follow her on Instagram at Rockstar Arms. You know, FD, you're talking about something really, really interesting, and I think we should follow it up on the radio, which is Sydney.
Sydney has just been announced as being part of the major marathons in 2025. They're city number 7.
Congratulations.
Yes. It's great. So they'll see a massive influx now because people obviously collect all of the major marathons and they'll be wanting to get their 7th star. So I believe the date has changed to the end of August as well. So it's no longer a September marathon.
Okay, and then this the Singapore Marathon is coming up. It used to be called the Standard Chartered Marathon. Now it's
That's
the
right.
Singapore Marathon, huh?
Oh, no, it's still Standard Chartered Singapore Marathon.
Standard Chartered
Okay.
Singapore
Or is it?
Marathon.
But
Okay.
we should not mention Standard Chartered. So
Okay.
I think because if not, we'll be advertising for them.
All right, so let's just say Singapore
Okay.
Marathon. then.
Singapore
Okay.
Marathon.
Okay.
Unless Standard Chartered pays
I
us
thought
some
you just
money.
said don't mention the name.
Yeah.
Oh, did I not?
Yes,
Oh,
you did.
okay.
So,
All right.
Nat, people are training, particularly not so much the big marathon runners. I mean, they would know what to do. The people who are, say, getting ready for, say, a 5 kilometer or something like that. Weatherman says we're going to see 2 weeks of a lot of rain. That's going to disrupt people getting in their training for the marathon. What can they do when it's raining every day?
They can run in the rain.
I was about to
That's
say
okay.
that.
No, but
Come on.
no, but
It's so much fun running in the rain.
yeah, but then we're saying don't get sick.
No, but you won't
Yeah.
get. It's rain. It's not acid rain.
You sound like my mother.
Yeah, I know.
It's like
No, but that's what
mothers and
people will
grandmothers.
say.
Don't go under the rain.
But that's,
If not, you'll
that's
fall
what
ill.
people-
typical Singaporean. though.
Yeah,
Typical
that's
Singapore-
what people will say.
Wear a poncho.
I just played golf in the rain the other day. I didn't fall ill.
Yeah, I know, but that's what
Yeah.
people will say, though.
Then
They
they'll
will
have
say,
to.
but yeah, they'll have to suck it up. I think
Yeah.
What if it's raining on race day? You're not
Yeah.
going to
Exactly,
run because
yeah.
you might get sick.
Yeah.
I'm not advocating go and run in a massive storm, but
Yeah.
if you get caught in the rain and you're running in the rain, it's okay. What it's about is just making sure that you recover after it properly. So get yourself dry, have a shower, fuel up, and really it's not the getting sick, it's making sure you don't slip out there. So,
Yeah, that's true.
you know, watching drains, watching slippery pavements and things, that's more of a danger, I think, than actually getting sick after running in the rain.
What is the obsession with not getting wet in the rain? I mean, since I was small as
But
well,
we've
you know?
always been told that.
But
No,
that's-
because our parents will always say, you catch a chill, you catch pneumonia and die.
Yeah.
That's what my mom used to
I never
tell
heard
me.
and die, but yeah.
Seriously, everything is like, oh, yeah, okay, you'll catch this and then...
And then, something will
Bye-bye.
happen and you get sick. Yeah.
Yeah, but you know that there are people who are listening who say it's raining, I'm not going to train.
Yeah.
It's going to
Yeah, I
happen.
know.
There are people out there who will say that.
100% there's people out there that will say, I say get on a treadmill then if you don't
Yeah,
want to go
exactly.
outside.
Yeah.
So there's
Yeah.
always an option, an option.
Yeah.
Yeah, but just very quickly, so which are the 7 countries that host, the big marathons?
The big marathons. So New York was actually today. So New York, Chicago, London, Berlin, Tokyo, Sydney, and oh my God, how can I forget the last one? I forgot
You said
the last
Berlin,
one.
right?
Yes, I've said Berlin.
Boston? No.
Boston, of course.
Boston.
There
Yes.
you go.
Yes,
Boston.
Boston.
You
Yes.
said New York was today? What do you mean?
Yeah, well, Sunday, yesterday.
Oh, it was
Yes.
held
Yeah, it was-
yesterday,
it was
right?
held.
Okay.
Yes, yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
Very
Okay.
cool.
I hope Singapore can be number 8. Maybe we can talk about that, on the Big Show TV. What it takes to be part of the big marathons. All right, coming up very, very soon also, it's Nian Tjoe from the Straits Times. It is 8:21.
Kiss 92 Time Check brought to you by Poutine.
Yeah, so what does it take, Nat?
Yeah, it takes people to come out and watch it, so I don't think Singapore, sadly, will
Oh.
ever be a major.
Oh.
Yeah.
So not
you've gotta
just
get
participation, support
not
as
just
well.
participation, it's support. So they look at things like infrastructure support, course, obviously. I think Sydney had to have the first year minimum of 15,000 people finish the marathon. That was the baseline. But yeah, I'm not sure from a crowd perspective. I know Singapore did think about it, and that's why we did that night marathon at one point.
Yeah.
But there was too many complaints and people weren't happy, so I'm not sure, sadly, that it will be on the agenda. It costs a lot of money to bid for it.
You mean we wanted to do a night marathon, just like we have a night race for Formula
Correct.
One?
Why were we doing night?
To stand out.
To stand out, to be different.
Right.
And also to be cool because it was cooler.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because
yeah.
I guess the other countries that are
Yeah.
on the list have the ability to do it during cooler months. We don't have
We
that.
don't have
Right.
that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. But in
Yeah.
terms of infrastructure, I'm sure we've got it because, I mean, if we can hold a Formula One race, we can hold a run.
100% we could hold it, yeah, and it's just about closing roads and
Yeah.
things which we do anyway for the race, but I think we'd sort of need a few more people to get behind it and come out and cheer to really make it exciting.
But I think we spoke about this, right, Nat, before, and we agreed that night marathons are not very good for the system.
Really?
No, and we've talked about sundown starting at midnight. So I think this one was like starting at 6 p.m. or something.
Oh,
so not
okay.
as bad. Yeah, not middle of the night, but just a sort of early evening start.
What is the audience like during the Singapore Marathon? Because I've never gone out to watch it or even take part in it. Are there people that stand by the sidelines, or is it just start finish? That's it.
There's sadly not, that you might get a few people at East Coast. You're running up towards West Coast to Pasipajang and things, and it's really quiet, obviously, on those flyovers. You have some great running groups out. All the local running groups will come and support at different areas. And then at the finish line, but it's pretty bleak, sadly. So the more people that can come out and cheer, it really makes a difference to all those people running.
Then what's it like overseas? Like, say, Berlin or the US or Sydney?
Crazy. So Sydney is okay, but if you're running, like when I did Paris or Tokyo, the streets are lined pretty much for 42 kilometres of people
Wow.
cheering.
Wow.
42 kilometers.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
So
it's
you're going to need a
crazy.
lot of people for that.
Yeah.
A lot of people who are keen.
Singaporeans have too many other things to do, see, that's why.
I don't think it's because you have nothing better to do. That's why you go and support a marathon.
I think so.
No, I don't think so. I think it's just a matter of being interested in what's happening in the city and getting behind it.
Maybe they're
Yeah,
fringe
I think
events.
so.
Could there possibly be
Yeah.
fringe events?
Yeah, they could, and I think that's what they're doing better now with marathons. Is doing pop-ups along the route. So they'll have AG1 will have a pop-up, and there'll be DJs and tasters and things that the crowd can interact with,
Yeah.
not just the runners. So definitely when I did Paris, there was I think 28 different music acts or bands or singers or DJs on the route. So people park themselves near there, and it's a bit of a party for them.
We always need a reason, you know what
Yeah.
I mean? So we need to give them a reason to
I think
go
we
down.
can do it.
Yeah, for
That's
sure.
not a problem at all.
There are lots of pop-up stalls and all that you see down Orchard Road and
Yeah.
at the markets and all that. Just put them along the
Maybe
route.
a city marathon,
Yeah.
so it doesn't go out too
Into
far.
East Coast and all that. Yeah,
right.
around
Yeah.
Orchard and Marina
Do
Bay.
you think we could make that happen, Nat? I mean, in the city area, could we do a 42.195 kilometers?
Well, it used to start on Orchard Road many years ago with the Christmas lights on, which was fantastic. So even, if you kept it in that sort of district, and it would be a little bit weavy and turny, I guess, to Clock 42. That's the problem. But
Yeah.
it would be great. That would be amazing.
We could use the Formula One route. What's wrong with that? It's the city.
You'd have to run it a few times.
Yeah, no, of course you run it a
It's
few
like
times.
a track. I mean, it's
So
only
you
5
run a
over
lap.
kilometers,
Oh, is that it?
Formula
Yeah,
One.
just go around in circles.
Yeah.
Then how about holding the marathon in the National Stadium?
Oh yeah, just go around in more circles.
Okay.
Well, this year it finishes on the Padang, so you don't have to get yourself to the National Stadium. You can just get yourself out to the Padang and watch the finish there this year.
Oh, okay.
And then have,
That'd be
that'd be
good.
cool. Where do you start? Also there?
F1 pit.
Ah, there, see?
Oh, right. Okay.
Actually, yeah. I mean, the start point is always at the F1 pit building for most runs these days. Yeah. Okay.
Easier to control, I think, in that environment too.
To close
starting.
off, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
To start,
Yeah.
Yeah. Looks like I'll never do a marathon.
Never say never.
Never
No,
say
no, no.
never. Exactly.
Yeah.
Only because I can't imagine. I haven't even run, as I said, 10 kilometers in a long time.
But you've been playing paddle, and that's very hard on the knees.
That's true. It's,
You know what I mean? You've maybe been building up
my
that
legs are
strength.
aching this morning a little bit.
Yes.
And I'm supposed to have a leg workout today with Aziz.
Tell him to give you abs or something else. Right?
Yeah, do arms and core or something.
Yeah.
You know what they say? Don't skip your leg,
Your leg
workout,
workout.
no matter what. Okay, going back on air one last time.
Kiss 92 traffic.
In the CTE tunnel towards the AYE before the Bukatima Road exit, look out for a broken down vehicle. And just a weather update that came in on my watch. It says 100% thunderstorms today.
yeah.
So take that umbrella out with you.
So nice. We're back on The Big Show and The Big Show TV. So as you just heard, Angel, it's gonna be wet the whole day. So either you stay indoors and work out or you stay indoors and sleep.
Yeah. Yeah, working out might be a good idea. Then sleep.
Which is it gonna be, Nat? Are you gonna be sleeping? Or are you gonna be working out at home?
I'll definitely be working out and trying to get a sneaky walk in there somewhere.
Almost sounds like a rhetoric question, right?
Didn't we talk about climbing stairs last week?
Yes, yeah, there you go. Good point. Everyone get into your local HDB block or condo or wherever, and up and down the stairs is a great workout in this weather.
Right?
True enough.
Do you do 2 steps up, 2 steps down, or do you do them one at a time? Oh, is there something wrong with doing 2 at a time?
I do 2 up, 1 down.
2 up, 1
Yeah.
down. Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
Is that
I do
better?
2 up, 1 down. It is, and if you talk to the stair climber world champions, they all do 2 up. So
Okay.
it actually gets you up faster. Walking up two at a time is faster than running up one at a time.
Oh,
That makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
Remember, it's World Common Sense Day.
Yes.
Is it really?
Yeah,
Today?
it's use your common sense day today.
Use your common sense day. Oh, okay, come on. Today, if you're driving, let's say, sometimes in the bus lane, right, you get these people.
Oh my gosh, with the
you know,
cameras.
I
Yeah.
think the other day someone caught me.
Of you?
Oh.
Okay.
I think, but I was just using my common sense.
Uh-huh.
And of course, these people, who are paid just to take photos of people coming into the
What
bus
was your
lane.
common
They are not
sense?
using. Common sense is that, look, I don't have to go like 2 meters before I'm turning left
To
get-
Paragon or something.
Exactly.
Yes, I know where you're talking about.
Right?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Because
It's
it's
like-
a turning lane.
Exactly, it's a
Yeah.
turning lane.
Yeah.
So I can filter, right after the bus stop or whatever,
Yeah, yeah.
or just
Agreed.
right there.
Yeah.
And if you take a photo of me, then you're an idiot. You're not using your common sense.
Today would be a good day to start.
Okay, just thinking about it, I'm getting angry already.
Okay.
I'm gonna,
Okay.
pour all that out to Nian Tjoe in just a while. Thank you very much, Nat.
Thanks, guys. Have a great week.
You
Take
too.
care.
Bye-bye.
Bye. All right, we've got Nian Tjoe. Today, we're talking about those people who don't have anything better to do except to take photos of people who are
Glenelg.
driving into these bus lanes.
Oh my gosh, bus lanes.
I think those guys with the cameras should use their common sense. Or do they have quotas? I'm going to ask you that as well. Meantime, here's Britney Spears with Womanizer on Kiss 92.
Someone's angry.
Do they have quotas?
Good
What do you
morning.
think?
Good
Can you
morning,
find us?
Nian
Good
Tjoe.
morning.
Good morning.
Lee Nian Tjoe, our senior transport correspondent from the Straits Times, ladies and gentlemen.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
So, yeah, he's expecting you to
What do you
answer
think?
that
Do
question.
they have quotas?
Well, if you don't get into the lane, they won't meet any quota.
Right. And
I don't think there are quotas.
No, but he's right though. I mean,
Yeah.
the lane coloring does go on all the way unto the light, right? I mean, then it becomes broken, right? So where is the right point at which you can go in at
There
the
is-
broken spot?
I would take the
Only the broken spot.
yeah, it's common sense. Right? As long as you're not obstructing a bus, for example.
You're
right?
still not
I don't
allowed to
see-
be in there
No, I know, but I'm going to
sometimes.
turn. Anyway, I
Yeah.
think it's a stupid rule.
Okay.
Okay, I think if there's one thing we should get rid of is that dumbass rule.
No,
because at the end of the day, the bus comes out and uses all the other lanes anyway.
Yeah.
I think
Right?
if it's
I
a no,
understand.
it should be a no
I
all the way.
understand that they want to keep to the schedule and all
Yeah.
that, but
No, I think if it's a bus lane, then it should remain a bus lane all the way. You know, don't like have the timings and all that, because who knows all these timings? I don't know that.
no,
you know
look,
the
if you're
timing?
there and you're obviously obstructing a bus,
then you're.
I agree.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Use your damn common sense.
Oh,
If
okay.
there's no one there,
Yeah.
why are
Yeah.
you taking a photo of me? I have
I
to
agree.
turn left, into Center Point.
Don't be angry at me.
Yeah,
My
don't
goodness.
be
I know,
I'm
I-
pissed off.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm
yeah.
pissed off. I tell you, really.
see that face?
I felt
Yeah.
like going down and punching the
Oh,
guy in
yeah.
his face,
No, no,
seriously.
no,
But
no,
then,
no.
of course, I cannot do that.
No, you
Yeah.
cannot.
Because I'm a radio personality.
Even if you want a radio personality,
can't do it.
I was about to wind down already just to insult him a little bit. Then I'm like, no. It's fine.
Yeah, yeah.
Towards nation building. Whatever
correct.
the,
Yes.
but it's so irritating. Why do they have irritating faces as well? These guys
It's
with
a
the cameras.
tough job, you know. Can
Tough
you
job.
imagine? They
Then do
hate
something
it.
else.
Oh my goodness.
Oh,
Okay, that's not
okay,
what we're
Nian Tjoe,
talking
let's talk about
today.
what we want to talk about.
What, COEs and
Car demand.
car demand?
Yes. So there's this is following an announcement that the LTA made. Feels like a long time ago, but really recently. I think it was last week only.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and it's about what they're saying is over the next couple of years they are going to allow or have this freedom to put in an extra 20,000 COEs.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So a few things come to mind is that when you say, for perspective, what is 20,000 COE? We have about, for cars, right? You have about 40,000 COE a year. So if you say this 20,000 is introduced immediately at one go, for example, then it's going to make a big difference, because fundamentally we're talking about the price of COEs. We don't really care how many COEs are out there. We just want to know how much our cars are going to cost. Cars, bikes, and trucks. Yeah. So the context is that why are they even allowing this provision to increase is because they say that the roads are less busy now than before.
Are they? Wow.
And there's this thing which kind of roundabout way talks about the bus lane, is that they have the implementation of the new ERP system, which is the OBU in the car. And they will tell you, oh, there's a bus lane going, right? Remember that?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, so the idea is that they have better ways of managing traffic. And because of that, they're confident that they can allow the number of vehicles to increase a little bit.
Are these 20,000 COEs for cars alone, or how is it going to be broken up?
Excellent. That's actually the point. Is
Okay.
that it is not, they've not announced to say that, oh, we're going to put how many of that 20,000 in which category, which vehicle type, as well as there's also no exact timeline. They own the authorities only say that over the next few years.
Yeah,
Oh.
so it's not 20,000 at once. You could get, say, 400 in the first year, for example.
Or 4, depending.
Yes.
Yeah,
Right.
it
yeah.
depends.
Or only 1,000 at the end of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what I did was I looked into the past and just to get a sense of what happens when the government says, we're going to give you more COEs because we have better traffic management. Traffic management in terms of putting in ERP, and before that was the ALS, the area licensing scheme. Remember the one where you stick a big ugly sticker?
Okay.
And an eagle-eyed officer.
Like the one you ran into.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll be able to
Don't
tell,
get
okay,
me
you're
started.
paid or not, right? Yeah, so back then they have announcement of an X number of COEs, and then found that they didn't really always dispense it in a very regular interval. And in one instance, they did not even complete the promise of like 10 to 15,000 COEs back then. It was like really big number. But the point is, it is really an instrument that the authorities can use based on whatever they deem fit. Yeah, based on criteria of, that you want to balance between we want to
Cars,
keep moving.
bikes.
Yeah, the composition as well as whether are the roads still free flowing. Because if you were to put it in this week and everybody runs in to get their vehicles and suddenly the road don't feel quite as smooth flowing anymore, or rather I should say even worse than how it feels like during peak hours.
So you were saying earlier that it seems like there are less cars on the road, or it seems like it's flowing more efficiently.
So the whole idea of, or rather a basic principle of traffic management is really measured by average speed of the road or at any given time. And for us as users, road users, would be, if you ask yourself, are you paying ERP charges now in the city? Answer is no. Right? So by their definition of the speed that you need to achieve for the average speed going through during this particular period of time, is perfectly fine. And that's why you don't need to implement this measure of saying charging you, because when you charge, you go, okay, I want to save some money, I won't take that road during this time. Yeah. So there's all this, but the question that come to mind is that, look, if the vehicles, or rather the load on the roads are a little bit better than a few years ago, right? This is based on a 5-year study, supposedly. Then why do we increase the number of vehicles? How about let's reduce the amount of roads?
Reduce the amount of
Yeah,
roads.
think about it.
Okay.
Right? So this is just
Yeah.
many thoughts that come to mind, because
Instead of putting more cars out there, take away some roads.
let's take away some roads, give more to the pedestrians, give
more
more to
green.
the cyclists and all that, because these are all the things that come to mind. Of course, when you put out something like that, go like, oh no, this is terrible, it's draconian, we're going to lose more cars, or we're going to lose more roads. Right? So I mean, there's all these concepts that are being floated. But I think more to me when I was doing the news analysis was this. The announcement came, right, just as COEs are becoming more expensive again. Right?
Which seems counterintuitive.
So, I mean, my sense of it is that it is more the signal to tell you, people who are rushing in to buy your vehicles, your cars, bikes, trucks and whatnot, don't rush, because there's going to be more COEs coming. And this is the same thing we've been told for more than a year, since May last year, when COEs started to climb. And they're going to put in more COEs because of whatever calculation behind it, as well as people of Singapore, we're going to have more COEs coming in the coming years. Do not rush.
They've been speaking about this for a while, yeah.
Yeah, but sometimes it's so hard to resist. You go into the showroom, you see something you like, you're like, oh man, I want it.
Traffic.
Okay, wait.
Kiss 92 traffic.
The roads might be a little wet where you are, so look out for any situations that might crop up. On the PIE towards Tuas at the Clementi Road exit, vehicles broken out. I was rewinding there. Yeah. And in the CTE tunnel towards the AYE before the Bukit Timah Road exit, look out for another broken down vehicle. Stay safe.
Welcome back to The Big Show and The Big Show TV. Our second guest for this morning, and he's in the studio every Monday morning, is our Straits Times senior correspondent, Nian Tjoe.
Good morning.
Senior transport correspondent. I said senior transport correspondent, right?
You said
Didn't
senior
I say that? I
correspondent.
didn't say senior fashion consultant or whatever. No, I said senior transport correspondent from the Straits Times, Nian Tjoe.
It's Monday, so forgive us for not getting our words, stringing our words properly.
No, forgive them. They're still sleepy. I'm wide awake.
Top of your game.
Yes, so we're speaking about, we were chatting about it on the Big Show TV for a little bit, COE and Car Demands.
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit more about the new COEs that are coming in, or?
So there may be up to 20,000 COEs that will be introduced into the supply for bidding over the next few years.
Up to 20,000.
Up to 20,000 over the next few years.
Okay.
The idea is that how did the authorities come to this decision that they can increase the number of COEs is because their study have found that there are the roads are flowing a little bit better because of the way whether it's our work arrangements or lifestyles that's changed. Vehicles are being used relatively less than they were a couple of years back. So because of that, the roads are freer flowing, the roads can take a little bit more vehicles, and so the thinking here is let's put up to 20,000 COEs over the next couple of years.
I like your idea earlier that you mentioned on the Big Show TV. Instead of putting more COEs out there, why not take away some roads and give it to, say, cyclists, of which we see a lot of out there now, or pedestrians?
I think, so the context is this. If the roads are freer flowing, means they are less heavily used, right? So if less heavily used, then think about what else can you do with this space, right? This may be more bus lanes. Yeah.
He's looking at you, man.
Gotta be careful with that one.
Careful, don't trigger him this
Yeah,
morning.
yeah.
So this may be bus lanes, this may be pedestrians, this may be parks.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, this is a very, very rough short idea, but it's just what I want to suggest is are we bent on one and not the other? If the thinking is quota, this obsession over vehicle population, right? It can go both ways. You can increase, you can decrease, right? Of course, when you put out something like that and you go, hang on a minute, this is the second part on vehicle demand, is that COE premiums have been climbing again. I mean, last year I think we were. For me at least, every 2 weeks I'm reporting a new record, new high, all the way through, which is not something that we can accept, because what used to be a car or a bike that costs X number of dollars is now 50% higher, right? In some cases, that's what we're looking at. That's crazy in terms of how does something increase in price for 50% within a year.
Yeah.
Right? And the question is, COE is still not coming down a year on. Yeah. So all this injection of COEs or promise of injection of COEs does not seem to have this impact of dampening or bringing down premiums.
Right.
Yeah. So this is a bit worrying.
It's interesting that you brought up cutting back on roads and making them parks, because that's exactly what happened.
Parks.
Yes,
That's what he was
said
talking
parks.
about. Yeah.
That is exactly what happened
He
to
didn't say parks.
Yeah, he did.
Yes, he did.
I said car parks.
Eh.
No, I didn't.
He didn't.
No,
he
you
said
said
parks.
parks.
He actually said parks.
Yes, he did.
He said park. And that's exactly what happened to a road in Choa Chu Kang that was seldom used. They took the road and they turned it into a park.
And people using that
And
park?
people used the park.
Anyway, Choa Chu
Nice.
Kang was a jungle, right?
You be quiet, okay?
Okay. Anyway, I think we also have something else to speak about. Older people and their ability or inability to drive, and whether their licenses should be renewed because of the reasons, not spate, but a couple of accidents that have happened involving older drivers. Yeah.
Okay, we're going to be talking about that on the Big Show TV. In the meantime, here's Taylor Swift, I Knew You Were Trouble on Kiss 92.
So is it ageism if we tell older people, they cannot drive? What's the oldest? What's the age
Can
limit?
I say? Okay, no, I want to see
What's
what
the age
everybody
limit
says
of
first.
driving in Singapore? Is there an age limit?
There's no age limit.
There's no age limit.
So above 65, the drivers need to go through a physical fitness, physical test.
Yeah.
Every 3 years.
I think
I
this
think
is around the
that's
world.
fine.
You know,
No, but-
it's pretty much standard around the world. Like, you know, I recently saw a video of Dr. Mahathir Mohamad in KL. driving.
Yeah.
I don't know whether it was an old
He's in his 90s.
post or whatever.
Yeah.
He's like 100 plus, really.
No, 90s. Maybe like 99 or something.
99.
Yeah, it's close.
But look at him. You know, he was in there with his wife, so cute,
But
driving around. Why not?
I agree with the above 65. A test is done every 3 years. But I think when it hits a certain age, they need to do it yearly because things can deteriorate very quickly. Like in Australia, I have a relative that's 87 and driving, and they do a yearly eye check, hearing check, and all
Yes.
that. I think yearly.
Let me just tell you why
It's
they
good.
are very harmless. All these
Harmless?
old drivers. Yeah.
Well, there were a couple of accidents.
Because they drive so slowly, even if they hit you, also it will just feel like a little, a little tap. It's like
Nian Tjoe?
they don't speed. The old people don't speed.
Either
The
that
senior
or
citizens, they
either
don't speed.
That or it's very heavy-footed.
I
You
don't
know.
think so.
yeah,
Most of them are very slow. You just
remember
overtake them.
Remember that because you drive slowly does not mean you are not a problem on the roads.
Nian
Yes.
Tjoe, tell us.
Wow, you're saying old people are a
No,
problem?
I am saying
Just
it
because.
doesn't mean.
What do you think? I'm with the old people, always.
I think
Except FD.
That we know.
I think on this subject, it is about how do you qualify a driver. I don't think it's just about age or physical fitness, right? I mean, they talk about your dexterity, whether you can control the vehicle and whatnot. I think all those are important. If anything, then let's just get that regimes maybe tighten up.
Yeah.
Make you an example, like so in a past life, my past life, I actually took a national competition license
What is that?
to compete in a race,
Okay.
and the physical test was lame. It was like, can you see my fingers? Yes. Can you touch your toes? Yes. Okay, you're done.
Oh,
I'm
Okay.
just
Wow.
on one
Wow.
extreme because that was just to qualify you that you have limbs, you have eyes.
Was it a race in the Kallang
Yeah.
open air car park?
and you
Yes,
can
yes, yes.
and you can hear.
Huh? Sorry, say again.
And there you go.
But I'm just trying to put out that you can have this level of test, and then for the older drivers, the level of testing that is required does not equate to whether you can or cannot operate a vehicle safely.
Do you know what the level of testing is that they go through every 3
It's
years?
a basic eye test. You have strength and all that. It is not exactly gonna, Okay, let me go the other extreme.
This interesting though. You should write an article on this.
should.
And you get FD to be, your guinea pig.
Yeah.
You bring him and get him to
No,
do
I'm
the
ignoring
test.
you on that. I don't think we should be being ageist.
There
Yeah,
you go.
no, exactly.
being
But
ageist.
no, not ages. But he's already 68. What? He qualifies for like
The above 65.
to go
yeah.
and get a check or something.
No, he's talking about the tests.
The test.
The
Yeah, I'm
test.
talking about
I've
Specifically the
always
test.
thought that at some point a simulator needs to be used.
you
for
must
the
always
older
take
people?
it one
Yeah.
step further.
No, it's for their own good because if they're in an accident, they are older, they are the ones that are going to get hurt.
But it's not.
And-
No. They are
And they
other
hurt others,
people.
yeah.
It's
No, there are other
yeah.
people, obviously, but there's a chance that they are really going to get hurt.
I think it's about the other people
But they're
more so
driving
than
so
the
slow.
people.
I
Actually,
think
I want
it's
to
about
ask
the
the
driver
question
as well.
here is, have we considered why are people driving? Right? Whether you're a younger person, older person, or really old person, oftentimes there's a need, whether there's a functional need. I think over the weekend I was with some people and says that, hey, recently minted grandparents.
Right.
Who said I need to bring my grandkid around because the parents work long hours and whatnot. It is
Take
so-
them to school and all that. A lot of them look after them throughout the week.
Yeah, and then you have this. So there are also concerns where there are in this case functional needs. Then there are others who say that take my license away feels like it's like as if the ageism, right? The society is pushing me out. You don't need to be on the roads as a vehicle user. So I think there's a question here: is why are people using vehicles?
Why are we driving?
Yeah, why are we driving?
Ask me why am I driving?
Why are you driving?
'Cause I don't know how to take the MRT and I don't know how to take
He
the bus.
doesn't know though. He really doesn't know.
Yeah, so
We need to film this. I keep saying. I'll
No.
take you, okay?
Please.
But I think so the question I have is understanding why are they driving, and I think if they want to drive, they as in whether you're very young, very old, whatever it is, right? Then you do the necessary tests or qualifications. I will go further and say that maybe not even a simulation test. Think about doing an actual driving test again, an orientation.
Oh,
whatever.
now we're talking about the old people.
Just
The
same as when you
older
get a young
people,
person
yeah.
in to drive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I feel that these tests need to be checked and seen, like
Yes.
like the regular tests that we do, the practicals and all that.
Yep.
Those are good ones because
Yep.
a lot of the rules change as well, and a lot of new signs come up. There are quite a few new
But
signs.
how
that
big a
have come.
problem is this? I mean, we haven't read
Excellent
anything about
point.
old people like
Yeah.
knocking people
No.
down or.
A couple of
The
There
excellent
have been
point is
cases.
that actually it isn't a high number.
It isn't, right?
Yeah, because you also think about it, like how many people with, I don't know, driving license were actually active,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
So it's actually a bigger, if you open that gate and go like, of course, every accident is one accident too many, right?
yeah.
Right? The same as they can harm themselves and the people around them.
They're just highlighting the ages.
Yeah,
Yes.
but who
Yeah.
brought this up in the first place?
The article that
Did
he
you bring-
sent.
Oh,
Yes.
it was in that article.
A different
A
article
different
that was
article.
sent, yeah.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah, but I appreciate that the point is made that there is such a phenomenon, right? That
Phenomenon.
there is a observation that there were more accidents,
Yeah.
right? Or rather, these accidents are highlighted because it involves a certain characteristic. In this case, age. The person seemed to be quite old, but
80s,
How old was
right?
it?
They were in the 80s.
80s.
Yeah.
yeah, but the person was one who think about it growing up. When you were in your teens, you go like, wow, people in their 20s are so old.
That's true.
When you're in their 20s, you go like, I can't believe the people in their 40s, how are they still around?
Yeah.
But you know what?
My point exactly. We are all going to get there. See, so it's like, look,
No,
I wanna keep on driving.
But
till
what
I'm
I w-
120.
What I want to say is they've highlighted these two cases of people in their 80s that have caused accidents, and in one case, death as
Yes.
well, right?
Yeah.
But if you were to look at those numbers and highlight, say, two accidents that happened with new drivers, which didn't make the papers, then why aren't we also focusing on that? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
Because out of every, say, two 80-year-old people, there are maybe 10 20-year-old people that have caused an accident.
Because it is ageism, you see. Just because
No,
like
it
this
is.
old person,
Just
is involved in
happened
an accident,
to-
you go like, oh yeah, you see,
Old people cannot drive.
old reflexes are slow, couldn't see properly.
But they have so
Mr.
much more
Magoo, right there.
experience. But they have so much more experience. Then you get the young ones, the ones with the P plates and all that, that don't get highlighted.
I would say that so there's one attribute that we need to look at, but I was actually, the intention of sharing the article is really about what are the practices, better practice, not best, right? Better practices to make sure that we have capable drivers on the road. And it comes back to, it's not just your age or years of experience. I would also argue that a person who just got the B plate, number one, only got 12 points to lose. I'm going to be quite careful, right?
Yeah.
Number two is that I'm also, because I'm quite new, everything, I'm a little bit more focused, right?
Yeah.
More present.
Okay.
Right, which you
For
guys.
some, yeah.
I mean, we've all, I've had experience taking a taxi, and an uncle goes, "I've been driving for 40 years, never one accident." In my head, my friend under my breath is, "How many accidents have people avoided? You have nearly caused. You
Yeah.
can't tell, right?" So I think, in my head, I'm thinking, what is a good way to recognize, to address supposed concern? Is that then put in better ways of measuring to ensure competencies from the drivers.
Okay, hold on. We're going back on air. Jack Harlow with First Class right here on Kiss 92. All the great songs in one place. Our guest for this morning, our second guest for this morning, is our senior transport correspondent from the Straits Times, Nian Tjoe. And we just established that I am the best driver in the world.
That's why we were talking about incompetent drivers. So please carry
Hey.
on. Yeah, no, he was talking about
No, but
incompetent.
my point here is that everybody feels like they are
Everybody
Great
does.
drivers.
really great
Driver.
drivers.
Yeah.
Right?
That's true.
Including the old people whom we are
True.
talking about right now.
True.
And I think that it is. I'm coming back to, if you understand why they are driving. Oftentimes, it is whether it's a functional need or a sense of security that I'm still mobile, right? My point would be then just make sure that if there's concerns, then do the necessary tests to make sure that these people using the vehicles are as safe as they can be. I mean, accidents by definition are accidents, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So the as opposed to just saying that let's set a maximum age for these drivers. I don't think that. I mean, you have seen people who behave like old people when they're much younger, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, out there, you just have all this variety. Not just how many years have you taken in oxygen and expelled carbon dioxide. Yeah. So I think that is a point that I really hope that it's for everyone to consider.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, it's time for us to let you go. Thank you very much, Nian Tjoe, for joining us. And of course, everyone, you can read Nian Tjoe's article either in in the papers or on the Straits Times digital. All right, and you can follow the Straits Times as well on Instagram at Straits_Times. Thank you very much, Nian Tjoe, for joining us today.
Thank you.
All right, coming up, headline news and sports.
Singapore's Kiss 92.